Hi, we are live. All right, this is cool. I'm streaming. I'm going to start, if you're just waiting, I'm going to start at precisely 6 p.m. I'm going to start reading the entire script of Star Wars episode through Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, to those of you waiting, there's the little comments section if you guys want to type. Oh, hi, thank you. How are you? Yeah, so yeah, if you have any questions you want to put in the live chat comments section, I'd be happy to give you answers. Thank you, Maverick. Okay, so guess I just have to stall time here until approximately 6 p.m. I just watched Revenge of the Sith actually to make sure I got everything right in here. I cut out all the deleted scenes that were featured in the script, so it's just the movie, just straight up good stuff. I've got my good buddy General Grievous here. Oh, I see we have a question. No, Anakin does not like sand. He hates it. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. So yeah, well, I'm excited that people are getting pumped for this. So, oh, hey, hello, hi. All right, cool. This is cool. I'm excited, and I hope you're excited. Just waiting. All right, cool. So yeah, got this nice binder. The script is pretty thick. I get the feeling this is probably going to take about 2 hours to get completely done. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I of course am going to be doing some voice impressions for all the characters, and as we hit the 6 p.m. mark, I will delve into it and explain a little further exactly what I'm going to be doing. Okay, let me adjust the camera a little bit to really get the general in the shot here. So yeah, I hope you're excited. I certainly am. I did my hair. I put this on. I'm pumped. I've been excited all day to do this. And I hope that you all have been anticipating it. For those of you who know me, I'm bringing you something I haven't brought you in a long time, an original concept, so I hope you enjoy it. We're about to hit the mark of officially starting, so hope you're all having a great day, and I hope you're ready to hear this. I'll deliver a short little spiel first, just sort of explaining what I'm going to do, and then we'll get right into it. I want to say, if anything bad technically happens during this, if the camera shuts off, if the stream ends, I will be working as quickly as I can to get it right back up. So just wait for that moment, I guess. You could tune in, tune out of this whenever you want. It's a YouTube video, so I think you can scroll back and see parts that you missed. But if you stay the whole way, that'd be really cool of you. So it's 6, so let's get started. Hi, I'm Trey. If you're just tuning in right now, good on you. I'm going to be reading the entire script of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now, this script originally featured some of the deleted scenes. I have gone back in and taken those out just to make it exactly like the movie it is. Exactly like it is. To be efficient, in terms of reading character names before lines, I am going to read the character's name on their first line, and then hopefully you can tell them apart by the voice that I give them. I'm just trying to be efficient here and just do this the best I can. So I suppose we should get started then. All right, let's get it going. Star Wars, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, by George Lucas. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. A vast sea of stars serves as the backdrop for the main title, followed by a roll-up which crawls into infinity. War! The Republic is crumbling under attacks by the ruthless Sith Lord Count Dooku. There are heroes on both sides. Evil is everywhere. In a stunning move, the fiendish droid leader, General Grievous, has swept into the Republic capital and kidnapped Chancellor Palpatine, leader of the Galactic Senate. As the separatist droid army attempts to flee the besieged capital with their valuable hostage, two Jedi Knights lead a desperate mission to rescue the captive Chancellor. Pan down to reveal a Republic attack cruiser. Continue to pan with the cruiser as two Jedi starfighters enter and head toward an enemy battle cruiser. Anakin. Look onto them, R2. Master, General Grievous' ship is directly ahead. R2 beeps a reply, and it reads out in Anakin's cockpit. The one crawling with vulture droids. Obi-Wan starfighter. Ah, Obi-Wan. I see it. Oh, this is going to be easy. Ahead is a Trade Federation cruiser with bat-like droid vulture fighters stalking around on the hull. The vulture fighters transform into flight configuration, lift off of the cruiser, and attack the Jedi starfighters. Oddball, do you copy? Oddball. Copy, Red Leader. Mark my position and form your squad up behind me. Oddball's fighter cockpit space. We're on your trail, General Kenobi. Set S-foils in attack position. The protective ray shields lower on the main hangar of the Trade Federation cruiser, and 6 new droid tri-fighters emerge and join the droid vulture fighters heading towards the Jedi. The Jedi starfighters extend the stability foils on the end of their wings. Anakin's fighter. This is where the fun begins. There are too many of them. I'm on your wing. Break left, break left. They're all over me. Get off my... I'm going to go help them out. No, they're doing their job so we can do ours. Head for the command ship. Another clone fighter is hit, bursts into flames, and spins off into space. A vulture droid fighter raises its head to locate its target and fires missiles at them. Missiles, pull up. Anakin and Obi-Wan break right and left, and the missiles follow them. Anakin does a barrel roll spin, causing the missiles following him to collide and explode. 2 missiles continue to chase Obi-Wan. He bangs sharply to the right, then to the left, causing one of the missiles to overshoot. They overshot us. The next missile streaks next to Obi-Wan's fighter and explodes. Obi-Wan's ship rocks, and R4 screams as the starfighter rips through the explosion. Debris flies all around them. They're coming around. All right, awful. No, nothing too fancy. Surge all power units. R2, stand by the reverse thrusters. Anakin spins his starfighter. The missiles spin and collide. We got him, R2. 2 missiles continue to track Obi-Wan. Flying is for droids. Suddenly, Obi-Wan shudders, and his ship starts to plummet towards the surface of the Trade Federation cruiser. The trailing missiles fly into what looks like debris and detonate. 5 silver balls fly out of the debris and attach themselves to the ship. The balls pop open, revealing small buzz droids that begin to crawl across the surface like spiders. I'm hit! Anakin! I see them. Buzz droids. The buzz droids crawl across Obi-Wan's ship and start to tear it apart. One of the buzz droids goes after R4. R4, be careful! You have one! R4's head gets ripped off and flies away. Oh dear. They're shutting down all the controls. Move to the right so I can get a clear shot at them. The mission, get to the command ship. Get to the Chancellor. I'm running out of tricks here. Anakin moves into position, just off Obi-Wan's left side, and angles his ship, so his guns are pointing at the droids crawling all over Obi-Wan's starfighter. Anakin fires and vaporizes the 2 buzz droids, along with the left wing of Obi-Wan's ship. In the name of... Anakin, hold your fire. Hold your fire. You're not helping here. I agree. Bad idea. Wait. I can't see a thing. My cockpit's fogging. They're all over me, Anakin. Move to the right. Hold on, Anakin. You're going to get us both killed. Get us out of here. There's nothing more you can do. I'm not leaving without you, Master. Anakin moves his ship next to Obi-Wan's and tries to physically knock the buzz droids off. Flames burst out and more smoke billows out, obscuring the Jedi's view. Anakin knocks off 3 of the buzz droids, and the 4th crawls onto Anakin's ship and starts attacking R2. R2 fights the buzz droid. Blast it, I can't see, my controls are gone! Get him, R2, watch out. R2 hit the buzz droid's center eye. R2 extends an arm and aims a stream of electricity at the swerving buzz droid. The buzz droid is hit squarely in the eye and falls off the ship. Yeah, you got him! Great, R2. The General's command ship is dead ahead. Have you noticed the shields are still up? Oh? Sorry, Master. Anakin streaks ahead of Obi-Wan's disintegrating Jedi fighter and blasts the shield generator. It sparks and explodes. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Scene 9. Main hangar, Trade Federation cruiser. The shield door drops away, and Obi-Wan crashes on the deck of the hangar bay, engulfed in a fantail of sparks. Ooh, nice word. A set of blast doors starts slamming shut across the hangar, opening as material is sucked into space. Anakin maneuvers around the oncoming junk and flies into the hangar, just as the blast doors slam shut. Obi-Wan ignites his lightsaber and cuts his way out of the cockpit. He jumps just as his ship explodes. Battle droids rush at him from all directions. Anakin jumps off his ship and cuts his way through the battle droids to where Obi-Wan is fighting. R2 pops out of his ship and follows Anakin. R2, locate the Chancellor. They cut down the last of the droids and follow. They cut down the last of the droids and follow R2 to a computer wall socket. The 2 Jedi fight off 4 more droids as R2 tries to find the Chancellor. Finally, a hologram of the Trade Federation ship appears. The Chancellor's signal is coming from right there. The observation platform at the top of that spire. I sense Count Dooku. I sense a trap. Next move, spring the trap. The Jedi start to leave. R2 follows. The Jedi stop and turn to R2. R2, go back. I need you to stay with the ship. Here, take this and wait for the others. Obi-Wan tosses the comm link to R2. Scene 10, bridge of the Trade Federation cruiser. General Grievous enters the bridge of the Trade Federation cruiser, followed by his 2 bodyguards. He walks to the front of the bridge and stands in front of the Nemoidian captain.
What's the situation, Captain?
2 Jedi have landed in the main hangar bay.
Just as Count Dooku predicted.
Interior of the hangar Trade Federation cruiser. Excuse me. The 2 Jedi wait for an elevator to arrive. They turn around and see they are face to face with 3 destroyer droids. The droids start blasting away. Anakin deflects the bolts. Obi-Wan frantically pushes the elevator button several more times. Destroyers! Finally, the door opens, and they rush inside under a hail of laser bolts. The elevator doors slide shut. The Jedi turn to see battle droids standing behind them.
Drop your weapons. I said drop them.
The Jedi activate their lightsabers and destroy all the battle droids. Scene 21, hangar, Trade Federation Center, cruiser. R2-D2 notices 2 super battle droids entering the hangar. He moves and hides behind a Jedi starfighter. Back in the elevator. The elevator begins to move and screeches to a stop. Did you press the stop button? No. Did you? No. Well, there's more than one way out of here. Anakin ignites his laser sword. We don't want to get out. We want to get moving. R2, do you copy? Activate the elevator at 31174. Anakin cuts a hole in the elevator ceiling. Back to the hangar. 2 super battle droids are inspecting the Jedi starfighters. They overhear Obi-Wan's voice over the comlink and are distracted.
What's that? Get back to work.
It's nothing. Back in the elevator. R2! Anakin climbs through the hole in the ceiling of the elevator. Always on the move. Obi-Wan continues to talk on the comlink. R2 quietly beeps a reply. Back in the main hangar. R2 tries to muffle the comlink as the 2 super battle droids try to figure out where the voices are coming from. R2 extends an arm and plugs into a computer interface. Obi-Wan over the comlink. R2, switch on the comlink.
R2, do you hear me? R2, we gave you a job to do, R2.
Back in the elevator. Suddenly, the elevator plummets down the shaft. Anakin quickly jumps and grabs onto the hallway entry door. He watches as the elevator recedes down the shaft and disappears. Anakin struggles to keep his grip on the closed door as sparking wires rain down on him. Back in the elevator. The elevator starts to descend rapidly. Stop, R2! We need to be going up. Anakin struggles to hang on to the narrow edge of the elevator shaft. The door to the elevator shaft is pried open, and 2 battle droids appear in the doorway and look down at Anakin. They point their guns at him.
Hands up, Jedi!
Back in the hangar. The 2 super battle droids overhear Obi-Wan's comlink messages to R2.
R2, do you copy? R2, do you hear me? R2, we need to be going up, not down.
The 2 super battle droids see R2 and walk towards the little droid.
Hey, you.
R2 plugs into the interface again and the elevator shoots up. Back in the elevator. Obi-Wan stands up after having fallen in the elevator. Now, that's better. Back in the main hangar. R2 is held up by 2 super battle droids who chuckle as the little astro droid curses and swings at them.
You stupid little astro droid.
Back in the elevator. Anakin looks down and sees the elevator heading toward him at a high rate of speed. He looks at the battle droids leaning over him with their guns pointed at him. He calculates for a moment, then gives himself a push and flips himself up into the elevator shaft. Before Anakin can arc into a descent down the shaft, the elevator races up through the shaft, cutting the droids in 2. Anakin lands on the elevator and quickly drops back through the hole in the ceiling. Obi-Wan is startled and ignites his lightsaber. Oh, it's you. Back in the main hangar. R2 activates his oil hose and sprays the super battle droids. The super battle droids slip in the oil. Back in the elevator. What was all that about? Well, R2 has been no loose wire jokes. Did I say anything? He's trying. I didn't say anything. Back in the main hangar. R2 ignites his arm rockets and shoots out of their grip, spraying them both with oil and setting them on fire. The super battle droids slip and slide until they fall, smoldering. R2 rolls away. Scene 38 in the General's quarters of the Trade Federation cruiser. The elevator door opens, and the 2 Jedi carefully make their way into the main room of the General's quarters. At the far end sits Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. Anakin and Obi-Wan move toward the Chancellor. As they get close to Palpatine, they see a very distressed look on the Chancellor's face. Bows. Chancellor? Are you all right? This is Palpatine now. Count Dooku. Palpatine makes a small gesture with his hand. Obi-Wan and Anakin turn around. The elevator doors can be heard opening and closing as Count Dooku strides into the room. He is above the Jedi, standing on a balcony with 2 super battle droids. The Jedi turn to see him. He looks down on the Jedi. This time we will do it together. I was about to say that. Count Dooku jumps down to the main level. Get help. You're no match for him. He's a Sith Lord. Chancellor Palpatine. Sith Lords are our speciality. Obi-Wan and Anakin throw off their cloaks and ignite their lightsabers. Now this is Count Dooku. Your swords, please. We don't want to make a mess of things in front of the Chancellor. Obi-Wan and Anakin move toward Dooku. You won't get away this time, Dooku. Obi-Wan and Anakin charge Count Dooku. A great sword fight ensues. I've been looking forward to this. My powers have doubled since last time we met, Count. Good. Twice the pride and double the fall. Dooku lunges at the Jedi and they fall back. As the battle proceeds, Obi-Wan and Count Dooku are tired. Anakin is stronger as he becomes angry. Anakin continues to drive the attack on Dooku. Count Dooku throws Obi-Wan back using the Force. Dooku sends Obi-Wan flying. The Jedi tumbles to the lower level, unconscious. Count Dooku spins around again and, using the Force, causes a section of the balcony to drop onto Obi-Wan. Anakin spins and kicks Count Dooku, sending him over the balcony. Anakin jumps, following him down. Count Dooku and Anakin continue the fight. I sense great fear in you, Skywalker. You have hate, you have anger, but you don't use them. Anakin regains his composure and attacks Count Dooku, as the Dark Lord attacks Count Dooku with a new ferociousness. Scene 39. General's Quarters, Trade Federation Cruiser. Anakin and Dooku continue their fight. It is intense. Finally, in one last energized charge, Anakin cuts off Count Dooku's hands. The Jedi catches the lightsaber as it drops from the severed Sith Lord's hand. Count Dooku stumbles to the floor as Anakin puts the two lightsabers to his neck. Palpatine is grinning as he watches Count Dooku's defeat. Good, Anakin, good. Kill him. Kill him now. I shouldn't. Do it. Anakin cuts off Count Dooku's head. You did well, Anakin. He was too dangerous to be kept alive. Anakin drops Count Dooku's lightsaber, moving to Palpatine. Yes, but he was an unarmed prisoner. Anakin raises his hands toward Palpatine, who is strapped in the Admiral's chair. The Chancellor's restraints pop loose. Anakin continuing. I shouldn't have done that, Chancellor. It was not the Jedi way. Palpatine stands up, rubbing his wrists. It is only natural. He cut off your arm and you wanted revenge. It was not the first time, Anakin. Remember what you told me about your mother and the Sand People. Now, we must leave before more security droids arrive. The ship begins to list to one side. Anakin rushes over to Obi-Wan, lifts the control console from on top of him and pulls him free. He kneels down and checks out his unconscious friend. Palpatine heads for the elevators. Anakin, there is no time. We must get off the ship before it's too late. He seems to be all right. Leave him or we'll never make it. His fate will be the same as ours. Anakin picks up Obi-Wan, slings him over his shoulder, and heads for the elevators. Sorry. Scene 40. The bridge of the Trade Federation cruiser.
Prepare for attack.
All batteries, fire, fire! Back to the battle stations at the Republic cruiser. Clone gunners fire on the Trade Federation cruiser and take fire in return. Clone troopers go flying. Scene 42, elevator lobby. General's Quarters, Trade Federation cruiser. Anakin carries Obi-Wan to the elevator door and hits the button. Palpatine joins him. The elevator's not working.
R2.
R2 beeps, our response to Anakin. Activate elevator 3224. Suddenly, the ship shifts to its side as the elevator doors open. Palpatine is thrown to the ground. Anakin jumps to the door frame of the elevator. Anakin looks into the elevator shaft. Back to the bridge of the Trade Federation cruiser. Windows are blown out. Droids and equipment are sucked out into space. Reverse stabilizers! Main hangar of the Trade Federation cruiser. As the ship rolls, the spacecraft and equipment crash from one side of the ship to the other. R2 starts to slide down toward one of the small holes. Back to the elevator lobby. As the elevator shaft rotates, it has become a long hallway. Anakin clings to the doorframe with Obi-Wan on his shoulder as the Chancellor struggles to join him. Main hangar of the Trade Federation cruiser. R2 continues to skid and slide toward open space. He swerves around boxes and wrecked fighters. One of the battle droids stumbles and is consumed by the electric shield in a zap. R2 beeps a reply as he dodges the laser blasts of the battle droids. One bolt hits very near him and he screams in terror. I don't know. Back to the bridge. Magnetize! Magnetize! Back to the main hangar. R2 is about to be overtaken by a starfighter sliding behind him. He falls into a heap of broken battle droid parts, and the fighter bounces over him. Scene 49. Exterior, space above Coruscant. The Trade Federation cruiser heads straight down toward the planet. Okay, back to the bridge.
Fire the emergency booster engines.
Leveling out, sir! Elevator shaft. On side, Trade Federation cruiser. Anakin still carrying Obi-Wan on his back, and Palpatine runs down the elevator shaft as it starts to move upright. Anakin cuts a control box on one of the doors. Before the Anakin grabs some wires in the control box with one hand. Palpatine grabs onto the Jedi's leg. As the ship rotates itself, they are left hanging in the bottomless elevator shaft. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Palpatine hang precariously on the side of the bottomless elevator shaft. Obi-Wan regains consciousness and tries to look around. Easy, we're in a bit of a situation. Did I miss something? Obi-Wan looks down and sees Palpatine in the bottomless pit. They hear R2 beeping on Obi-Wan's comm. The ship begins to roll, causing the vertical shaft to move into a 45-degree angle. They hear the elevator brakes release and look up to see the elevator heading toward them. Hold on. What is that? Obi-Wan and Anakin look up to watch the elevator approach them at high speed. Then Obi-Wan turns to Anakin. Oops. R2, shut the elevator down. Too late, jump! They fall about 300 feet before the tilt of the ship catches up with them, and they hit the side of the shaft and slide at great speed just ahead of the elevator. The shaft continues to rotate until it is completely horizontal. Anakin and Obi-Wan take out and throw grappling hooks. The hooks catch, and they continue to fall. All the doors in the elevator shaft open up, and the group swings around the open door into a hallway. The elevator roars by. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Palpatine fly through the elevator door and land. Let's see if we can find something in the hangar bay that's still flyable. R2, get down here. R2, do you copy? Back in the main hangar. As the Federation cruiser continues to rotate, R2 squeals and pokes a periscope out of a pile of broken battle droid parts. He looks around and then rockets up out of the debris. Back in the bridge of the Trade Federation cruiser. This is a bodyguard.
General, we found the Jedi. They're in hallway 328. Activate ray shields.
Back in the hallway. They run down the hallway. Suddenly, ray shields drop around them. Now this is Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Palpatine. Putting them in an electronic box in the middle of the hallway. Ray shields. Obi-Wan takes a deep breath to express his total disappointment. Wait a minute, how did this happen? We're smarter than this. Apparently not, Master. I say, patience. Patience? That's your plan, is it? Yes, R2 will be along in a few moments, and he'll release the ray shields. R2 comes skidding across the hallway and bashes into the opposite wall. He takes a moment to compose himself. See? No problem. Suddenly, several doorways open, revealing 2 destroyer droids. 16 super battle droids emerge from behind the destroyer droids. R2 turns and zaps one of the super battle droids, who then kicks R2 over.
Don't move, dummy.
Do you have a plan B? Back in the bridge, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Palpatine, and R2 are captured by General Grievous. They stand before the alien droid general.
Oh, yes. General Kenobi, the negotiator. We've been waiting for you. That wasn't much of a rescue.
A battle droid walks to General Grievous and hands him the Jedi's lightsabers.
And Anakin Skywalker. I was expecting someone with your reputation to be a little older.
General Grievous, you're shorter than I expected.
Jedi scum.
Anakin, try not to upset him. We have a job to do.
Your lightsabers will make a fine addition to my collection.
Not this time. And this time you won't escape. R2. R2 creates a distraction by extending all his arms, shooting out electrical pulses, and bouncing around. Obi-Wan, hands restrained with electro bonds, spins around, reaches out, and using the Force, yanks his lightsaber out of the general's hand, ignites it, and cuts his bonds. He continues to spin around and cuts Anakin free.
Crush them! Make them suffer!
Anakin uses the Force to yank his lightsaber out of the general's hand. The droids that surround him begin to fire. Pew pew! Obi-Wan and Anakin jump into the line of fire. The bridge degenerates into chaos. Obi-Wan and Anakin are locked in a pitched battle between electro staffs and laser swords, with General Grievous's 2 bodyguards. That's what it probably sounds like. Chancellor Palpatine is taken away by 2 battle droids. General Grievous walks around the bridge, directing the battle droids.
Stay and watch your stations.
Obi-Wan fights one of General Grievous' bodyguards. Obi-Wan finishes off the bodyguard, and it crumbles to the floor in pieces. Alarms sound as the giant spacecraft begins to list and falls out of orbit. A pilot yells at General Grievous. "Sir, we are falling out of orbit. All aft control cells are dead."
Don't bother with them. Keep the ship in orbit.
Obi-Wan and Anakin destroy the remaining droids. General Grievous retrieves one of the bodyguard's staffs and faces Obi-Wan. Anakin leaps over a console and lands behind General Grievous.
You lose, General Kenobi.
One of the pilots stands next to the general. "The ship is breaking up!" Obi-Wan tries to get at General Grievous. General Grievous turns and throws his electrified staff at the window. It breaks, causing chaos as everything that is not nailed down is sucked into space. General Grievous is the first one sucked out into space. He fires a cable from his arm and attaches to the ship. He swings in and lands firmly on the side of the ship. Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Palpatine hold on for dear life. A blast shield closes around where the window used to be. Back in the bridge, Obi-Wan continues to fight the battle droids. The droids have backed him into a corner. Obi-Wan hides behind a droid control panel as the droids blast away at him. He jumps up and over the droids, cutting most of them down before he lands. He destroys the droids and joins Anakin. Droid parts are firing everywhere. Obi-Wan and Anakin stand back to back and cut down the last of the droids just as there is a huge shudder followed by more alarms. Sparks begin to fly outside the windows. On the exterior hull of the Trade Federation cruiser, General Grievous detaches his cable and crawls along the exterior hull of the Federation cruiser. Using his magnetized hands and feet, he reaches a row of escape pods and enters an airlock. Interior of the pod bay. General Grievous enters the escape pod bay through the hatch. The droid general goes to a control panel and opens an escape pod.
Time to abandon ship.
General Grievous pulls a row of switches, and one by one the escape pods are jettisoned. He gets in one, the hatch closes, and the escape pod blasts away from the damaged cruiser. Obi-Wan and Anakin go over to the navigator's chair in the bridge. All the escape pods have been launched. Grievous, can you fly a cruiser like this? You mean, do I know how to land what's left of this thing? Anakin sits in the pilot's chair and sees on a screen the back half of the ship break away. There is a great jolt, and the ship tilts forwards. Well, under these circumstances, I'd say the ability to pilot this thing is irrelevant. Strap yourselves in. Obi-Wan and Palpatine strap themselves into chairs. Anakin struggles with the controls of the ship. The ship starts to glow and pieces break off. R2 moves in on Palpatine's controls and assists in flying the cruiser. Steady. Altitude 18 degrees. Pressure rising. We've got to slow this wreck down. Open all the hatches, extend all flaps and drag fins. A large part of the ship breaks away. We lost something. Not to worry, we're still flying half a ship. Now we're really picking up speed. Plus 60,000. We're in the atmosphere. Anakin points to one of the controls. R2 beeps madly. Grab that. Keep us level. Steady. Steady. Easy, R2. 5,000. 3,000. 2,000. Fire ships on the left and right. Fire ship pilot. We'll take you in. Copy that. Landing strip straight ahead. We're coming in too hot. The ship leaves a contrail as it streaks across the Coruscant skyline. A large landing platform in the industrial part of the city is surrounded by emergency fire speeders. The smoking ship approaches as 5 fire ships spray it with foam. The ship finally makes a rather hard landing. Another happy landing. Coruscant Senate Office Building, landing platform, late afternoon. Some time has passed. The small Jedi shuttle carrying Palpatine and the Jedi arrives at the landing platform. There are a dozen senators, including Bail Organa, Jar Jar Binks, and C-3PO, waiting for them. Palpatine, R2-D2, and Anakin get out. Obi-Wan and Mace stay in the doorway of the Jedi shuttle. Mace Windu, that is. He's now being introduced. Are you coming, Master? Oh, no, I'm not brave enough for politics. I have to report back to the council. Besides, someone needs to be the poster boy. Hold on, this whole operation was your idea. Sorry, old friend. Let us not forget that you rescued me from the buzzer droids. And you killed Count Dooku. And you rescued the Chancellor, carrying me unconscious on your back. All because of your training. Anakin, let's be fair. Today you are the hero and you deserve your glorious day with the politicians. All right, but you owe me. And not for saving your skin for the 10th time. 9th time. That business on Cato Nemoidia doesn't count. I'll see you at the briefing. Anakin smiles and walks away from Obi-Wan. The Chancellor and his entourage approach Mace. Mace Windu. Chancellor Palpatine, are you all right? Yes, thanks to your two Jedi Knights. They killed Count Dooku, but General Grievous has escaped once again. General Grievous will run and hide as he always does. He's a coward. That may be true, but with Count Dooku dead, he is the leader of the droid army, and I assure you the Senate will vote to continue the war as long as Grievous is alive. Then the Jedi Council will make finding Grievous our highest priority. Bail, Anakin, and the crowd walk away from the platform toward the Senate building grand hallway. This is Bail Organa speaking. Skywalker, the Republic cannot praise you enough. Anakin and Bail Organa are walking in the hallway. Thank you, Senator Organa. R2 and 3PO follow behind the crowd. This is C-3PO now. It couldn't possibly be as bad as all that. Well then, I agree with you. In fact, I could do with a tune-up myself. Scene 70. The Coruscant Senate building. Anakin is at the back of the crowd of senators talking with Bail Organa. R2-D2 and C-3PO scoot along ahead of them. The fighting is going to continue until General Grievous has spare parts. The Chancellor is very clear about that. Behind a row of large columns, a shadowy figure follows the Jedi and the senator. Anakin senses the figure. I'll do everything I can with the Senate. Excuse me. Certainly. Anakin stops, and Bail goes off after Palpatine and the others. Anakin goes behind one of the giant columns to meet up with the shadowy figure, who is revealed to be Senator Padme Amidala. They embrace and kiss. This is Padme now. Oh, Anakin! I missed you, Padme. I've missed you so. There were whispers that you'd been killed. I'm back. I'm all right. It feels like we've been apart for a lifetime, and it might have been if the Chancellor hadn't been kidnapped. I don't think they would have ever brought us back from the Outer Rim sieges. Anakin starts to give her another kiss. She steps back. Wait, not here. He grabs her again. Yes, here. I'm tired of all this deception. I don't care if they know we're married. Anakin, don't say things like that. Are you all right? You're trembling. What's going on? Something wonderful has happened. They look at each other for a long moment. Annie, I'm pregnant. Anakin is stunned. He thinks through all of the ramifications of this. He takes her in his arms. That's wonderful. What are we going to do? We're not going to worry about anything right now, all right? This is a happy moment. The happiest moment of my life. Now, scene 71, the exterior of the planet Utapau. A small Nemoidian shuttle lands. Battle droids surround the ramp as General Grievous descends onto the platform. General Grievous then walks into a control room with a holographic panel. A hologram of Darth Sidious appears.
Yes, Lord Sidious.
General Grievous, I suggest you move the separatist leaders to Mustafar.
It will be done, my lord.
The end of the war is near, General.
But the loss of Count Dooku.
His death was a necessary loss, which will ensure our victory. Soon I will have a new apprentice, one far younger and more powerful. Scene 73, the interior of Padme's apartment on Coruscant. Padme stands in the balcony brushing her hair. Anakin leans against the wall, watching her, loving. Annie, I want to have our baby back home on Naboo. We could go to the lake country where no one would know, where we would be safe. I could go early and fix up the baby's room. I know the perfect spot, right by the gardens. You are so beautiful. It's only because I'm so in love. No, it's because I'm so in love with you. So love has blinded you? Well, that's not exactly what I meant. But it's probably true. They laugh. Ha! I don't think it's like that. But, okay, scene 74. In Anakin's dream at a medical center. The view is strangely distorted and disorienting. Padme is on a table in an alien medical chamber. She is giving birth and is screaming. She screams and dies. Back to Padme's bedroom in her apartment. Anakin awakens in a panic. He's covered in sweat. He looks over in the bed and sees Padme sound asleep next to him. Anakin gets out from under the sheets and sits on the side of the bed. He's breathing heavily. He puts his head in his hands and weeps. He regains his composure, and leaves the room down a set of stairs. Padme awakens, realizing Anakin is gone. She gets out of bed and goes downstairs to look for him. Scene 76 on Padme's veranda. Anakin walks down a flight of stairs onto a large veranda. He is distraught. Padme descends the stairs and joins Anakin on the veranda. What's bothering you? Nothing. Anakin touches the Jaipur snippet around Padme's neck. It's like a little necklace thing that Anakin gave her when he was a small boy. I remember when I gave this to you. Anakin, how long is it going to take us for us to be honest with each other? It was a dream. Bad? Like the ones I used to have about my mother just before she died. And? It was about you. They look at each other. A moment of concern passes between them. Tell me, it was only a dream. Padme gives him a long, worried look. Anakin takes a deep breath. You die in childbirth. And the baby? I don't know. It was only a dream. Anakin takes Padme in his arms. I won't let this become real. They embrace, then part. This baby will change our lives. I doubt the Queen will continue to allow me to serve in the Senate, and if the Council discovers that you are the father, you will be expelled. I know. Anakin, do you think Obi-Wan might be able to help us? I don't need his help. Our baby is a blessing. Scene 77, the interior of the Jedi Temple in Yoda's quarters. Yoda and Anakin sit in Yoda's room, deep in thought. Ooh, this is fun, Yoda. Let me get a sip of water for this real quick. Okay. This is Yoda speaking. Premonitions. These visions you have. They are of pain, suffering, death. Yourself you speak of? Or someone you know? Someone. Close to you? Yes. Careful you must be when sensing the future, Anakin. The fear of loss is a path to the dark side. I won't let these visions come true, Master Yoda. Death is a natural part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Mourn them, do not. Miss them, do not. Attachment leads to jealousy, the shadow of greed, that is. What must I do, Master Yoda?
Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose.
Scene 78, interior of the Jedi Temple in a hallway. Anakin hurries down a temple hallway, heading toward a Jedi briefing room. Several Jedi are exiting. Anakin rushes into the briefing room. By the time he reaches the chamber, the last of the Jedi are leaving. Only Obi-Wan remains at the front of the lecture hall. He's shutting off some holograms and electronic charts and maps. You missed the report on the Outer Rim sieges. I'm sorry, I was held up. I have no excuse. In short, they're going very well. Salukami has fallen, and Master Voss has moved his troops to Boz Pity. What's wrong, then? The Senate is expected to vote more executive powers to the Chancellor today. Well, that can only mean less deliberating and more action. Is that bad? It'll make it easier for us to end the war. Be careful of your friend Palpatine. Be careful of what? He has requested your presence. What for? He would not say. He didn't inform the council? That's unusual, isn't it? All of this is unusual, and it's making me feel uneasy. Palpatine's office. I hope you trust me, Anakin. Of course, I need your help, son. What do you mean? I'm depending on you. For what? I don't understand. To be the eyes, ears, and voice of the Republic. Anakin thinks about this. Anakin, I'm appointing you to be my personal representative on the Jedi Council. Me, a master? I'm overwhelmed, sir, but the Council elects its own members. They'll never accept this. I think they will. They need you more than you know. Scene 82, in the Jedi Council chambers. Anakin stands pensively in front of the Jedi Council chambers. The door opens. Anakin enters and stands in the middle of the room. He's surrounded by the Jedi Council. Mace Windu, Eth Koth, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and holograms of Plo Koon and Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Allow this appointment lightly. The council does not. Disturbing is this move by Chancellor Palpatine.
I understand. You are on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master. Anakin reacts with anger. What? How could you do this? This is outrageous. It's unfair. I'm more powerful than any of you. How can you be on the council and not be a master? Take a seat, young Skywalker. Forgive me, master. Anakin goes and sits in one of the empty chairs. Everyone is embarrassed. Ki-Adi-Mundi, who appears as a hologram, speaks. All right, this is Ki-Adi-Mundi. We have surveyed all systems in the Republic and have found no sign of General Grievous.
Hiding in the Outer Rim, Grievous's. The outlying systems you must sweep.
We do not have many ships to spare. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? It is critical we send an attack group there immediately. He's right. That is a system we cannot afford to lose.
Go, I will. Good relations with the Wookiees I have.
It's settled then. Yoda will take a battalion of clones to reinforce the Wookiees on Kashyyyk. May the Force be with us all. Anakin is disappointed. Scene 84, interior of the Jedi Temple in the main hallway. Anakin and Obi-Wan walk through one of the massive Jedi Temple hallways. Anakin is furious. Okay, calm down, buddy. What kind of nonsense is this? Put me on the council and not make me a master. That's never been done in the history of the Jedi. It's insulting. Calm down, Anakin. You have been given a great honor. To be on the council at your age, it's never happened before. The fact of the matter is, you're too close to the Chancellor. The council doesn't like it when he interferes in Jedi affairs. I swear to you, I didn't ask to be put on the council. But it's what you wanted. Your friendship with Chancellor Palpatine seems to have paid off. That has nothing to do with this. Anakin, the only reason the council has approved your appointment is because the Chancellor trusts you. And, Anakin, I am on your side. Council wants you to report on all of the Chancellor's dealings. They want to know what he's up to. They want me to spy on the Chancellor? That's treason. We are at war, Anakin. Why didn't the Council give me this assignment when we were in section? This assignment is not to be on record. The Chancellor is not a bad man, Obi-Wan. He befriended me. He's watched out for me ever since I arrived here. That is why you must help us, Anakin. Our allegiance is to the Senate, not to its leader who has managed to stay in office long after his term has expired. Master, the Senate only demanded that he stay longer, yes, but use your feelings, Anakin. Something is out of place. You're asking me to do something against the Jedi Code, against the Republic, against a mentor and a friend. That's what's out of place here. Why are you asking this of me? The Council is asking you. Scene 85, Coruscant clone landing platform. A Jedi gunship heads for the huge clone landing platform. Yoda, Mace, and Obi-Wan ride in the gunship as it heads for the clone landing platform. Mace and Obi-Wan are sitting. Anakin did not take to his assignment with much enthusiasm. It's very dangerous, putting them together. I don't think the boy can handle it. I don't trust him. With all due respect, Master, is he not the chosen one? Is he not to destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force? So the prophecy says.
A prophecy that misread could have been.
He will not let me down. He never has.
I hope right you are.
The gunship lands and the ramp lowers. Yoda exits the gunship. Mace and Obi-Wan stand and give him a brief bow. Then take off in the gunship. Let's see, what scene are we at here? Padme's apartment. Ooh, in the veranda again. Sometimes I wonder what's happening to the Jedi Order. I think the war is destroying the principles of the Republic. Have you ever considered that we may be on the wrong side? What do you mean? Well, what if the democracy we thought we were serving no longer exists, and the Republic has become the very evil we have been fighting to destroy? I don't believe that. And you're sounding like a separatist. Wow, that's your wife, Anakin. This war represents a failure to listen. Now, you're closer to the Chancellor than anyone. Please ask him to stop the fighting and let diplomacy resume. Don't ask me to do that. Make a motion in the Senate, where that kind of a request belongs. What is it? Nothing. Don't do this. Don't shut me out. Let me help you. Hold me, like you did by the lake on Naboo so long ago. When there was nothing but our love. No politics, no plotting, no war. Okay. Scene 88, interior of the Coruscant Galaxy's Opera House at night. Anakin lands a speeder and exits. Anakin runs up the stairs at the Galaxy's Opera House. Anakin runs through the hallway and enters Palpatine's box, where the Chancellor is sitting with Mas Amedda and Sly Moore, watching the Mon Calamari Ballet doing Squid Lake. You wanted to see me, Chancellor? Yes, Anakin, come closer. I have good news. Our clone intelligence units have discovered the location of General Grievous. He is hiding in the Utapau system. At last, we'll be able to capture that monster and end this war. I would worry about the collective wisdom of the Council if they didn't select you for this assignment. You are the best choice by far. Sit down. He then gestures to his aides. Leave us. Anakin sits next to Palpatine. The Chancellor leans over to him. Anakin, you know I'm not able to rely on the Jedi Council. If they haven't included you in their plot, they soon will. I'm not sure I understand. You must sense what I have come to suspect. The Jedi Council want control of the Republic. They're planning to betray me. I don't think, Anakin. Search your feelings. You know, don't you? I know they don't trust you, or the Senate, or the Republic, or democracy for that matter. I have to admit my trust in them has been shaken. Why? They asked you to do something that made you feel dishonest, didn't they? Anakin doesn't say anything. He simply looks down. They asked you to spy on me, didn't they? I don't know. I don't know what to say. Remember back to your early teachings, Anakin. All those who gain power are afraid to lose it. Even the Jedi. The Jedi use their power for good. Good is a point of view, Anakin. The Sith and the Jedi are similar in almost every way, including their quest for great power. The Sith rely on their passion for their strength. They think inward, only about themselves. And the Jedi don't. The Jedi are selfless. They only care about others. Palpatine smiles. Lost my place. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? No, I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. He had such a knowledge of the dark side that he could even keep the ones he cared about from dying. He could actually save people from death. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. What happened to him? He became so powerful, the only thing he was afraid of losing was his power, which eventually, of course, he did. Unfortunately, he taught his apprentice everything he knew. Then his apprentice killed him in his sleep. Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself. Is it possible to learn this power? Not from a Jedi. Scene 89, Kashyyyk. That's the Wookiee planet. A Wookiee catamaran, flanked by Wookiee helicopters, approaches the tree housing the hologram area. Scene 90, interior of the Kashyyyk hologram area. Yoda and various Jedi speak via hologram. The discussion includes Obi-Wan, Mace, Agent Kolar, Yoda, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Plo Koon. Ki-Adi-Mundi. Palpatine thinks General Grievous is on Utapau. A partial message was intercepted in a diplomatic packet from the chairman of Utapau. I don't think it ever notes Anakin was in this, but Anakin is here.
Act on this, we must. The capture of General Grievous will end this war. Quickly and decisively, we should proceed.
Does everyone agree? All the Jedi concur. The Chancellor has requested that I lead the campaign. They all look at Anakin, a bit disturbed. Mace is a little peeved. The Council will make up its own mind on who is to go, not the Chancellor.
A master is needed, with more experience.
I concur. Master Kenobi should go.
I agree.
All the Jedi concur. Very well. Council is adjourned. Anakin is angry. Scene 91, Kashyyyk hologram area. Yoda gets out of his chair and walks to the edge of the platform. Clone Commander Gree says, this is Clone Commander Gree here, the droids have started up their main power generators.
Now the time is, Commander.
Yes, sir. The battle begins. Hang on, let me grab a quick sip of water. Doing Yoda kind of wears out my voice. All right. Scene 92, exterior of the Kashyyyk beach. A Wookiee chieftain lets out a roar. Ooh. As the Wookiee army rushes to face the droid army, corporate alliance tank droids race across the water against the Wookiees and clone troopers on the beach. Droid gunships provide air support, while a spider droid emerges from the watery depths. A brave Wookiee places an explosive on a separatist tank. It jumps off just before the tank explodes. From the hologram area, Yoda observes the ongoing battle. I should. Scene 96. Exterior of the Coruscant clone landing platform. Anakin and Obi-Wan walk onto a landing platform overlooking a docking bay where thousands of clone troops and armored weapons, tanks, etc. are being loaded onto a massive Republic assault ship. You're going to need me on this one, Master. Oh, I agree. However, it may turn out just to be a wild bantha chase. Master, I've disappointed you. I have not been very appreciative of your training. I've been arrogant and I apologize. I've just been so frustrated with the Council. You are strong and wise, Anakin, and I am very proud of you. I have trained you since you were a small boy. I have taught you everything I know. And you have become a far greater Jedi than I could ever hope to be. Be patient, Anakin. It won't be long before the Council makes you a Jedi Master. Obi-Wan, may the Force be with you. Goodbye, old friend. May the Force be with you. Obi-Wan heads down a ramp toward the waiting Republic cruiser. Scene 97. The exterior of the Coruscant clone landing platform. The Republic cruiser lifts off and heads for space. Scene 98. Interior of the Republic battle cruiser hangar. Clone troopers stand at attention in rows on the floor of the hangar deck, waiting to board landing craft. Obi-Wan stands next to his blue Jedi fighter, talking to several clone commanders with their helmets off. A hologram of the planet Utapau is projected by R4G9 into the middle of the hangar. Clone Commander Cody, the character. Fortunately, most of the cities are concentrated on the small continent here, on the far side. I'll keep them distracted until you get there. Just don't take too long. When have I ever let you down? They laugh. Very well. The burden is on me not to destroy all the droids before you get there. Scene 99. Jedi fighter in space. Obi-Wan blasts the blue Jedi fighter out of the Republic battlecruiser and into the hyperspace ring. He heads for the planet Utapau. He's in space. Oh, we are in another one of Anakin's dreams. Padme calls out in pain. Obi-Wan is near her and softly speaks to her. Save your energy. I can't. Don't give up, Padme. Don't give up. Anakin is in the, he's now out of the dream in Padme's apartment. Anakin is in the living room, working. He sits on the couch where Obi-Wan was sitting. Padme enters and crosses behind him. Obi-Wan's been here, hasn't he? He came by this morning. What did he want? Padme looks up for a moment. Anakin seems tense. He's worried about you. He says you're under a lot of stress. I don't know. I feel lost. Lost? What do you mean? They trust you with your lives. Something's happening. I'm not the Jedi I should be. I'm one of the most powerful Jedi, but I'm not satisfied. I want more, and I know I shouldn't. You expect too much of yourself. They stop in front of the window in the bedroom. Anakin puts his hand on her belly. Anakin says, I don't know why I said that. I have found a way to save you. Save me? From my nightmares. Is that what's bothering you? I won't lose you, Padme. I'm not going to die in childbirth, Annie. I promise you. Scene 104. Utapau in space. Obi-Wan blasts out of the blue Jedi fighter's hyperspace ring and heads for the planet Utapau. The blue fighter skims over the planet's surface, flat except for a few giant sinkholes. Scene 105. Interior on the Utapau landing platform. Obi-Wan lands his ship on a platform, projecting out of the side of a giant sinkhole. All is quiet. A local administrator, Tyon Madone, comes out to greet the ship. Obi-Wan climbs out of his fighter as a short ground crew looks over his ship. On a ledge over the landing platform, Grievous bodyguards watch as Obi-Wan talks to Tyon Madone. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that, sorry. Okay, this is Tyon Madone, I don't know. This is him speaking. Greetings, young Jedi. What brings you to our remote sanctuary? Unfortunately, the war. There is no war here unless you brought it with you. With your kind permission, I should like some fuel and to use your city as a base as I search nearby systems for General Grievous. A ground crew rushes out and refuels Obi-Wan's fighter. Tyon Madone, I'm just going to call him that. Tyon Madone leans close to Obi-Wan and speaks quietly. He is here. We are being held hostage. They are watching us. I understand. The 10th level, thousands of battle droids. Tell your people to take shelter. If you have warriors, now is the time. Obi-Wan starts back towards his starfighter as Tyon Madone leaves the landing bay. Grievous bodyguards retreat from the overhead platform. Obi-Wan climbs back into his blue Jedi fighter. His Astro unit, R4-G9, turns to him. Take the fighter back to the ship. Tell Cody I've made contact. The little Astro droid beeps a reply. Scene 106. Utapau, observation deck. On a high balcony, Tyon... How many times do I have to say this guy's name? Tyon Madone looks down on the landing platform. A few steps behind him stands one of General Grievous' bodyguards. They watch the canopy lower. I told you all he wanted was fuel.
What was his name?
He didn't say. They watch as the blue Jedi fighter takes off. Scene 107. Utapau landing platform, hallway. Obi-Wan also watches his ship take off. He's hiding in the hallway. He quietly moves farther into the city. Obi-Wan quickly rushes up a stairway, cut into the center of the sinkhole. It's hard to see him. In an alcove, he carefully surveys the city, then quickly moves on. For some reason, it doesn't explain this, but in this time, Obi-Wan manages to get his hands on a giant lizard called a Varactyl named Boga that he uses as transportation. The lizard Boga rears up on her hind legs, then climbs the wall of the sheer cliff and starts moving up toward the 10th level. The city appears to be deserted. Obi-Wan is alert to any movement. Scene 111. Interior of the Utapau conference room. General Grievous stands before the Council of Separatists, including Newt Gunray, Rune Hacko, Puggle the Lesser, Shumai, Sandhill, Po Nudo, Wat Tambor, and Pasel Argente. Obi-Wan hides from the assembly and watches intently.
It won't be long before the armies of the Republic track us here. I am sending you to the Mustafar system in the Outer Rim. It is a volcanic planet. You will be safe there.
This is going to be Newt Gunray speaking. His voice is going to be a little different from how it is in the movies, because in the movies it's a little racist. Safe. Chancellor Palpatine managed to escape your grip. General, without Count Dooku, I have doubts about your ability to keep us safe.
Be thankful, Viceroy. You have not found yourself in my grip. Your ship is waiting.
Obi-Wan is deep in thought. Scene 112. Utapau, 10th level, control center. The Jedi removes his cloak and jumps down behind the general. Hello there.
General Kenobi, you are a bold one.
He then says to the droids.
Kill him.
About 100 battle droids surround Obi-Wan. General Grievous and his bodyguards. Obi-Wan looks around, then walks right up to General Grievous. They stare at each other for a moment. Battle droids move towards Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan slices him up.
Back away. I will deal with this Jedi slime myself.
Your move.
You fool. I have been trained in your Jedi arts by Count Dooku.
His arms separate. Yep. His forearms create a flashing display of swordsmanship. He's rotating the lightsabers. You get it.
Attack, Kenobi.
Obi-Wan is hard-pressed to defend himself against the deadly onslaught. Obi-Wan mounts a ferocious counterattack and cuts off one of Grievous' hands. A loud explosion is heard echoing through the sinkhole. General Grievous and Obi-Wan glance to the entrance of the control center and see clone troops in the distance attacking droids in the sinkhole. On the far wall of the sinkhole, clones can be seen rappelling onto the balconies.
Army or not, you must realize you are doomed.
Oh, I don't think so. 20 clones suddenly rappel into the entrance of the control center, ray guns blazing, chaos. Laser bolts fly everywhere as the droids return fire. Obi-Wan attacks General Grievous, who defends himself rigorously with one of his bodyguard's electro staffs. Obi-Wan uses the Force to hurl General Grievous backwards. He falls onto a lower platform, and Obi-Wan jumps down after him. Scene 113, interior of the Utapau 10th level control center. More clones rappel into the control center and blast away at the remaining droids. The Jedi cuts down several droids as he races to the entrance of the control center. Obi-Wan spots General Grievous racing toward one of the landing platforms in the midst of the battle. General Grievous jumps into a wheel scooter and takes off down the wall of the sinkhole. Obi-Wan whistles for his lizard Boga, who returns to him. Obi-Wan jumps on. The chase begins. Obi-Wan drops his lightsaber while riding Boga. Scene 117. The interior of the Coruscant Jedi War Room. Ki Adi Mundi, Anakin, Yoda, Mace, Clone Commander Cody, and Ayla Secura talk via holograms. Master Windu, may I interrupt? General Kenobi has made contact with General Grievous, and we've begun our attack. Thank you, Commander. Anakin, deliver this report to the Chancellor. His reaction will give us a clue to his intentions. Yes, Master. Anakin leaves the room. Commander Cody's hologram disappears. I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi. The dark side of the Force surrounds the Chancellor. If he does not give up his emergency powers after the destruction of Grievous, then he should be removed from office. The Jedi Council would have to take control of the Senate in order to secure a peaceful transition.
To a dark place, this line of thought will carry us. Great care we must take.
Get another sip of water. Okay, scene 118. The interior of the Chancellor's office on Coruscant. Early evening. Anakin brings news to Palpatine. Chancellor, we have just received a report from Master Kenobi. It is upsetting to me to see that the Council doesn't seem to fully appreciate your talents. Don't you wonder why they won't make you a Jedi Master? I wish I knew. More and more I get the feeling that I'm being excluded from the Council. I know there are things about the Force that they're not telling me. They don't trust you, Anakin. They see your future. They know your power will be too strong to control. Anakin, you must break through the fog of lies the Jedi have created around you. Let me help you to know the subtleties of the Force. They walk into the hallway. How do you know the ways of the Force? My mentor taught me everything about the Force, even the nature of the dark side. They stop. You know the dark side? Anakin, if one is to understand the great mystery, one must study all its aspects, not just the dogmatic, narrow views of the Jedi. If you wish to become a complete and wise leader, you must embrace a larger view of the Force. Be careful of the Jedi, Anakin. Only through me can you achieve a power greater than any Jedi. Learn to know the dark side of the Force, Anakin, and you will be able to save your wife from certain death. What did you say? Use my knowledge. I beg you. You're a Sith Lord. Anakin ignites his lightsaber. I know what has been troubling you. Listen to me. Don't continue to be a pawn of the Jedi Council. Ever since I've known you, you've been searching for a life greater than that of any ordinary Jedi. A life of significance, of conscience. Are you going to kill me? I would certainly like to. I know you would. I can feel your anger. It gives you focus, makes you stronger. Anakin raises his lightsaber to Palpatine's throat. There's a tense moment. Then Anakin relaxes. And then he turns off his lightsaber. I'm going to turn you over to the Jedi Council. Of course you should. But you're not sure of their intentions, are you? I will quickly discover the truth of all this. You have great wisdom, Anakin. Know the power of the dark side. The power to save Padme. Scene 120. The exterior of the Utapau main city plaza. A large group of Utapau troops on lizards attack the droid army. Obi-Wan and General Grievous race through the city at breakneck speed, passing through battle zones, narrowly escaping explosions, laser bolts, and troops from both sides. General Grievous lays the scooter down as he goes around sharp turns. Obi-Wan's lizard breathes hard as she tries to keep up. They destroy droids, equipment, and clone troops as the Jedi and the General cut a swath of destruction through the city. The General accelerates off the edge, activating his claws, drops and clings to another nearby group of windmills. Obi-Wan's lizard attempts to jump to follow and barely makes it, almost falling to the precipice below. General Grievous roars through the stone block tunnel system, riding up on the curved walls as he goes around corners or passes oncoming traffic. Obi-Wan races after the droid, his lizard moving onto the ceiling as they pass traffic. Obi-Wan catches up with General Grievous and they charge through the tunnel, side by side. Obi-Wan grabs the droid's electro staff. I'm just going to sum this up because this is a lot of scene reading. So they go, Obi-Wan jumps, grabs the electro staff, starts prying at Grievous. But then, wait, they then crash back onto the landing platform. General Grievous's stomach plate is loose. That's this part. Obi-Wan grabs it and rips it off, revealing the alien life form's guts encased in a bag in the droid's chest. General Grievous grabs Obi-Wan, hoists him over his head, and tosses him across the platform. Obi-Wan dangles off the edge of the platform. He clutches the rim, trying to hold on. The droid then grabs the staff and charges Obi-Wan. At last second, Obi-Wan reaches out his hand and uses the Force to retrieve the droid's laser pistol. The Jedi fires several blasts in the stomach area of the alien droid. Pew, 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 pew! And he explodes from the inside out. Okay, he's dead now. Dead. The smoldering droid falls to the ground. Obi-Wan has killed General Grievous. He pulls himself onto the platform and walks by the destroyed carcass. He tosses the pistol aside. So uncivilized. Scene 124. Interior of a Jedi gunship. Interior of the Jedi gunship landing platform on Coruscant. Mace and the Jedi, Agent Kolar, Kit Fisto, and Saesee Tiin, are preparing to board a Jedi gunship to the Chancellor's office. Anakin enters the hangar. Master Windu, I must talk to you. What is it, Skywalker? We're in a hurry. You must have just received word that Obi-Wan has destroyed General Grievous. We're on our way to make sure the Chancellor returns emergency powers back to the Senate. He won't give up his power. I've just learned a terrible truth. I think Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord. Lord? Yes, the one we've been looking for. How do you know this? He knows the way of the Force. He's been trained to use the dark side. Are you sure? Absolutely. Then our worst fears have been realized. We must move quickly if the Jedi Order is to survive. Master, the Chancellor is very powerful. You will need my help if you're going to arrest him. For your own good, stay out of this affair. I sense a great deal of confusion in you, young Skywalker. There is much fear that clouds your judgment. I must go, Master. No. If what you told me is true, you will have gained my trust. But for now, remain here. Wait for us in the council chamber until we return. Yes, Master. Anakin watches as the Jedi leave in their ship. Scene 125. Interior, Coruscant, at the Jedi Council, and Padme's apartment. This scene sort of goes back and forth between Padme in her apartment and Anakin in the Jedi Council area. Padme is alone in her apartment, thinking of Anakin. Anakin sits alone in the Jedi Council chamber, thinking of Padme. Ooh, they're thinking about each other. Palpatine in a voiceover in Anakin's mind. You do know, don't you, if the Jedi destroy me, any chance of saving her will be lost. Anakin rushes out of the council chamber into his speeder. The hangar door opens and he lifts off. Scene 128. Interior of the Chancellor's office on Coruscant. Mace arrives with 3 Jedi to arrest Palpatine. This is where it gets good. Master Windu, I take it General Grievous has been destroyed then. I must say, you're here sooner than expected. In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic, you are under arrest, Chancellor. Mace Windu and the other Jedi ignite their lightsabers. They're all ignited. Are you threatening me, Master Jedi? The Senate will decide your fate. I am the Senate. Not yet. It's treason then. Palpatine stands. A laser sword appears out of his cloak sleeve, and he spins around towards the Jedi. He also does a weird scream thing, which I'll try to emulate. Something like that. A close shot of Palpatine as the fight begins. Close shots of 3 Jedi getting cut down by Palpatine. Palpatine and Mace continue to fight. So yeah, Palpatine just kills the 3 other Jedi. It then goes on with Mace Windu some more. Jedi Master, Mace Windu, and the Sith Lord fight their way down the hallway and into the main office area. Palpatine is able to use the Force to slam Mace against the wall, but he recovers before the Chancellor can cut him down. Sorry, I need some water here real quick. I guess since General Grievous is dead, I can put my water where he was standing. Let's see, where were we? Anakin lands his speeder, jumps out, and runs down a long corridor towards the Chancellor's office. In the heat of the battle, Mace cuts the window behind the Chancellor's desk, and it crashes away. Mace is forced out onto the ledge, which is 20 stories up. They fight over the precipice. Anakin arrives to see Palpatine and Mace fighting. They stop as Mace forces Palpatine to drop his sword. Palpatine and Mace start yelling at each other. You are under arrest, my lord. Anakin, I told you it would come to this. I was right. The Jedi are taking over. The oppression of the Sith will never return. You have lost. I need some water for this part. No, you will die. Palpatine raises his hand and lightning bolts shoot out. They are blocked by Mace's lightsaber. Palpatine is pushed back against the windowsill. Here's a traitor, Anakin. He's the traitor. Stop him. There's a lot of screaming here, mostly for Mace Windu. I have the power to save the one you love. You must choose. Don't listen to him, Anakin. Help me. Don't let him kill me. I can't hold on any longer. Mace pushes Palpatine out to the edge of the ledge. Hey, that rhymes. As the Jedi move closer, the bolts from Palpatine's hands begin to arch back on him. The Chancellor's face begins to twist and distort. His eyes become yellow as he struggles to intensify his powers. I can't. I give up. Help me. I am weak. I am too weak.
Don't kill me, Akira. I'm dying. I can't hold on any longer.
I am going to end this once and for all. You can't kill him. He must stand trial. He has control of the Senate and the courts. He's too dangerous to be left alive.
I'm too weak. Don't kill me, please.
It's not the Jedi way. Mace raises his sword to kill the Chancellor. He must live.
Please don't. Please don't.
I need him.
Please don't.
No! Just as Mace is about to slash Palpatine, Anakin steps in and cuts off the Jedi's hand holding the lightsaber. Yep. As Mace stares at Anakin in shock, Palpatine springs to life. The full force of Palpatine's power bolts blasts Mace. He attempts to deflect them with his one good hand, but the force is too great. As blue rays engulf his body, he is flung out the window and falls 20 stories to his death. No more screams, no more moans. Palpatine lowers his arms. Oh, by the way, I should note that this next line from Palpatine is while he's shocking Mace. I should have included that. Okay. Power! Unlimited power! That's exactly what it sounds like in the movie. Okay. His face is changed into a horrible mask of evil. Anakin looks on in horror. Palpatine cackles. What have I done? Anakin sits. You are fulfilling your destiny, Anakin. Become my apprentice. Learn to use the dark side of the Force. I will do whatever you ask. Good. Just help me save Padme's life. I can't live without her. To cheat death is a power only one has achieved. But if we work together, I know we can discover the secret. Anakin kneels before Palpatine. I pledge myself to your teachings. Good, good. The Force is strong with you. A powerful Sith you will become. Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Vader. Thank you, my master. Rise. Palpatine moves over to his desk. Scene 129. Kashyyyk meeting hall. Yoda winces, closes his eyes, and holds his head. He feels a disturbance in the Force. Back in the Chancellor's office, Palpatine is putting on his dark cloak. He is now fully Darth Sidious. Because the Council did not trust you, my young apprentice, I believe you are the only Jedi with no knowledge of this plot. When the Jedi learn what has transpired here, they will kill us along with all the senators. I agree. The Jedi's next move will be against the Senate. Every single Jedi, including your friend Obi-Wan Kenobi, is now an enemy of the Republic. I understand, Master. We must move quickly. The Jedi are relentless. If they are not all destroyed, it will be civil war without end. First, I want you to go to the Jedi Temple. We will catch them off balance. Do what must be done, Lord Vader. Do not hesitate. Show no mercy. Only then will you be strong enough with the dark side to save Padme. What about the other Jedi spread across the galaxy? Their betrayal will be dealt with. After you have killed all the Jedi in the temple, go to the Mustafar system. Wipe out Viceroy Gunray and the other separatist leaders. Once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy, and we shall have peace. Anakin goes to the Jedi Temple with a battalion of clone troopers. The battle between the clones and the droids rages throughout the sinkhole. Oh, we're back on Utapau now. Obi-Wan rides up to Clone Commander Cody. Commander, contact your troops. Tell them to move to the higher levels.
Very good, sir.
Commander Cody starts to move away, then remembers something and returns to Obi-Wan.
Oh, by the way, I think you'll be needing this.
He hands Obi-Wan his lightsaber, and the lizard rears up. Thank you, Cody. Now, let's get a move on. We've got a battle to win here.
Yes, sir.
Obi-Wan and the lizard ride off down the wall of the giant sinkhole. The battle rages throughout the city. Clone Commander Cody takes out his comlink and listens to the hologram of Darth Sidious as, far below, Obi-Wan can be seen battling droids on a landing platform. This is on the hologram that Commander Cody's holding now.
Commander Cody, the time has come. Execute Order 66.
It will be done, my lord. The hologram disappears and Clone Commander Cody gestures to a nearby clone trooper. Blast him! The battle rages all around. Obi-Wan droids and clones are everywhere. Obi-Wan is riding on a lizard, cutting down droids as he races down the battlefield. Suddenly, a volley of laser blasts from behind him knocks him and his lizard off the wall of the sinkhole. He looks around just in time to see his clone troopers are firing on him. Obi-Wan falls hundreds of feet to the bottom of the water-filled sinkhole. Scene 133. Exterior of Megiddo Dawn. This is another planet. The sky slowly awakens on the crystal world of Megiddo. A battle rages. Clone troops battle the droid armies across a long bridge. Ki-Adi-Mundi uses his lightsaber to deflect enemy fire. Clone Trooper Commander Bakara exits a gunship near the entrance to the city. He rallies his troops to attack the city, then gets a message on his comlink. He stops and moves to one side as a hologram of Darth Sidious appears on the comlink in the palm of his hands. He moves further into the shadows. Ki-Adi-Mundi is leading the charge. The clones stop. Ki-Adi-Mundi turns around and is blasted by clone fire. He's killed before he can defend himself. Scene 134, Felucia, another planet. A column of clone walkers marches across the forest floor. The strange calls of the alien forest creatures of Felucia suddenly stop. The Jedi Ayla Sakura and her clone troopers brace for an ambush. They all look for signs of an enemy. Clone Commander Bly moves up behind the Jedi. Bly blasts Ayla in the back. The other clones fire on her as she hits the ground. Scene 135, Kashyyyk Meeting Hall. Yoda drops his Geimer stick. I think that's how you say that. Clutches his chest and rests against a wall. Scene 137, Cato Nemoidia. In the cockpit of a clone fighter, the clone pilot watches a hologram of Darth Sidious.
Execute Order 66.
Clone pilot. It will be done, my lord. Plo Koon heads his ship toward a battle on a landing platform. Plo Koon's a Jedi Master. The four clone pilots with Plo Koon drop back and blast him out of the sky. Scene 140, Salukami in the forest, another planet. 3 speeder bikes race through the forest. A Jedi, Stas Ali, in the lead. The 2 clones following her drop back and blast her, causing her to crash in a huge explosion. Scene 142, Kashyyyk Meeting Hall balcony. A vista of waterways, high green mesas, and giant trees. Tree cities serves as a backdrop to the fierce battle. Clones and Wookiees against Trade Federation droid armies with treaded tank-like vehicles. Clone Commander Gree holds his comlink. On the comlink is, you guessed it, a hologram of Darth Sidious. It will be done, my lord. Clone Commander Gree snaps his comlink shut. Yoda watches from the balcony. The battle rages as clones and Wookiees attack droids coming across the water on Corporate Alliance tank droids. Chewbacca and Tarful stand on either side. That's right, Chewbacca's in this. Chewbacca and Tarful stand on either side of the Jedi Master as he watches the battle below. Clone Commander Gree and one officer walk onto the balcony toward Yoda. Yoda stands looking over the battlefield below. When they are close enough, the clones reveal their weapons and fire. But faster than the clones can reveal their weapons, Yoda ignites his lightsaber. leaps into the air, and beheads both clones. Like that. Where was I? Yep. And beheads both clones. Chewbacca and Tarful fire their weapons as more clones enter the hall. The Wookiees call out to Yoda to follow them. Chewbacca picks Yoda up and carries him away. Scene 143, Coruscant, Jedi Temple. A Jedi is surrounded and gunned down by clone troopers. Again, in the Coruscant Jedi Temple, Anakin walks through the Jedi Temple, where he finds and kills Shaak Ti. He exits Shaak Ti's room and enters a hallway where the battle is taking place. Scene 145, Jedi Temple. Anakin enters a room full of younglings, huddled in a corner. One of the younglings steps out and says, "Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?" Anakin looks back at them with a stern expression on his face. It ignites his lightsaber. Scene 146. Padme's apartment on Coruscant. C-3PO and Padme look out the apartment window.
The Chancellor's office indicated Master Anakin returning to the Jedi Temple. Don't worry, my lady. I'm sure he will be all right.
Padme bursts into tears. Scene 147. Coruscant cityscape. The planet is covered in a hazy glow. A column of black smoke can be seen rising in the distance. Bail Organa's speeder flies overhead, straight towards the smoke. Scene 148. The Jedi Temple landing platform. The Jedi Temple is on fire. Large plumes of smoke billow toward the sky as Bail Organa lands his speeder on a Jedi Temple platform. 4 clone troopers stand guard at the entrance to the temple. They lower their guns as Bail gets out of the speeder and walks toward them. Bail Organa. "What's going on here?" "There's been a rebellion. Don't worry, sir. The situation's under control." The clones bar the senator from entering the temple. "I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave." And so it is. Bail reluctantly heads back towards his speeder. Suddenly, several shots ring out. Bail turns and sees a 10-year-old Jedi fighting the clones. Several clones start firing at Bail. The Jedi jumps for cover behind his speeder, starting the engines and pulling out his laser pistol. The young Jedi cuts down several clones before he is overrun and shot. The speeder takes off with Bail clinging to the side. The clones fire at it as it disappears into the cityscape. Scene 149, Coruscant cityscape. Bail Organa struggles to pull himself into the speeder as it races through the cityscape. Finally, he climbs in just as the speeder is about to hit a building. Bail steers clear of the building and races away. Scene 150, Utapau, underwater sinkhole. The Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, dives below the surface amid a barrage of laser fire. He dives deeper under the water, fumbling in his utility belt for a breathing device. He finds it and puts it in his mouth. He swims underwater until the clone troops give up and stop firing. Scene 152. Exterior of the Kashyyyk Lake on the village edge. Clones and modified one-man ATSTs and swamp speeders flash their searchlights across the gloomy lake. The light of one of the ATSTs spots something floating in the water. It is what's left of a Wookiee catamaran. The body of a dead Wookiee is lying across the stern of the wreckage of the flying boat. There is some movement on the boat. The clone sergeant on the ATST fires a warning shot past the boat. Scene 153, Kashyyyk Hills. The ATST marches up the hill and stops. The Wookiees jump down. Yoda lands on Cancel nearby. Chewbacca goes to a tree and pulls down one of its branches. The ground opens up and a small Wookiee escape pod rises into the field. Yoda opens the door of the pod.
"Goodbye, Chewbacca and Tarful. Miss you, I will."
Oh, that was a bad Wookiee. That's better. The 2 Wookiees bark as the Jedi climbs into the Wookiee pod and takes off into the dusk sky. Scene 155, Coruscant Senate Office Building, underground landing platform. The platform rises to the surface of the office building. The Alderaan star cruiser takes off and disappears into the crisp morning sky. That's Bail Organa's star cruiser. Scene 156, inside the Alderaan star cruiser. Bail Organa is greeted by Captain Antilles and 2 Alderaan troopers. Hopefully we will be able to intercept a few Jedi before they walk into this catastrophe. Scene 157, Utapau sinkhole. Obi-Wan hides from a group of clone troopers.
Did you find Kenobi? No one could have survived that fall.
He watches them pass.
Start loading your men on the ship. Yes, sir.
Obi-Wan tries to sneak back to the secret platform, down a flight of stairs. Obi-Wan makes his way out of the cave and onto General Grievous' secret landing platform. He runs to General Grievous' starfighter and climbs into the one-man ship. The starfighter takes off and disappears into the sky. Obi-Wan flies from the planet Utapau. Obi-Wan activates the controls of the starfighter. He punches in several coordinates and codes. A beeping sound is heard. It quickly speeds up until it is a steady tone. Obi-Wan speaks into his comlink. Emergency code 913. I have no contact on any frequency. Are there any Jedi out there? Anywhere? A burst of static is heard and a fuzzy hologram image appears. It's Bail Organa. Kenobi! I've locked on. Repeat. The fuzzy hologram image comes into focus, and it's Bail Organa. Master Kenobi. Senator Organa. My clone troops turned on me. I need help. We have just rescued Master Yoda. It appears this ambush has appeared everywhere. We're sending you our coordinates. Scene 162. Coruscant in Padme's apartment on the veranda. 3PO walks out to Anakin's ship and talks with R2. R2 beeps.
Hush, not so loud.
Padme rushes onto the veranda as Anakin exits his green Jedi fighter. They embrace. It's similar to that. Are you all right? I heard there was an attack on the Jedi Temple. You can see the smoke from here. I'm fine, I'm fine. I came to see if you and the baby are safe. Captain Typho's here, we're safe. What's happening? C-3PO continues to talk to R2-D2 on the green fighter. The situation is not good. The Jedi have tried to overthrow the Republic. I can't believe that. I couldn't either at first, but it's true. I saw Master Windu attempt to assassinate the Chancellor myself. Anakin, what are you going to do? Anakin looks down for a moment, and then walks away from Padme. I will not betray the Republic. My loyalties lie with the Chancellor and with the Senate, and with you. Anakin turns and walks back to Padme. What about Obi-Wan? I don't know. Many Jedi have been killed. We can only hope that he's remained loyal to the Chancellor. Oh, Anakin, I'm afraid. Anakin takes Padme in his arms. Have faith, my love. Everything will soon be set right. The Chancellor has given me a very important mission. The Separatists have gathered in the Mustafar system. I'm going there to end this war. Wait for me until I return. Things will be different, I promise. They kiss. Please, wait for me. I will. Anakin gets into his fighter as 3PO backs away.
Well, he is under a lot of stress, R2. Take care, my little friend.
R2 beeps a goodbye, and the fighter takes off. R2's in the fighter, by the way, with him. And the fighter takes off. Padme is left alone on the veranda. She starts to cry. 3PO comes up to her.
My lady, is there anything I might do?
No, thank you, 3PO.
I feel so helpless.
Scene 163. On the Alderaan Star Cruiser, Bail's Star Cruiser. Obi-Wan's ship docks with Bail Organa's Star Cruiser. The door to the main hallway slides open. Obi-Wan enters and is greeted by Yoda and Bail Organa. The three walk down the hallway. How many other Jedi managed to survive?
Heard from no one, have we?
I saw thousands of troops attack the Jedi Temple. That's why I went looking for Yoda. Have we had any contact from the temple?
Received a coded retreat message, we have.
It requests that all Jedi return to the temple. It says that the war is over. Well, then we must go back. If there are other stragglers, they will fall into the trap and be killed.
Suggest dismantling the coded signal, do you?
Yes, Master. There's too much at stake here.
I agree. In a dark place we find ourselves. A little more knowledge might light our way.
Scene 165. Mustafar lava fields. During the day. Workers move across the lava beds, gathering magma. A column of aliens riding giant Mustafar fleas marches forwards. Scene 166. Inside the Mustafar Control Center. A hologram of Darth Sidious is in the center of the room. Newt Gunray and the rest of the Separatist coalition watch Sidious. The plan has gone as you promised, my lord.
You have done well, Viceroy. When my new apprentice, Darth Vader, arrives, he will take care of you.
The hologram disappears. Interior of a cruiser cockpit. This is Bail's cruiser again. The Republic cruiser heads towards Coruscant. Obi-Wan, Bail, Yoda, and 2 pilots sit in the cockpit. Pilot. We're receiving a message from the Chancellor's office, sir. Send it through.
Yes, sir.
The pilot pushes some buttons. Mas Ameda appears on the screen. Alright, this is Mas Ameda. Senator Organa, the Supreme Chancellor of the Republic, requests your presence at a special session of Congress. Tell the Chancellor I will be there. Very well. He will be expecting you. Mas Ameda's image disappears from the screen. It could be a trap. No, I don't think so. The Chancellor will not be able to control the thousands of star systems without keeping the Senate intact.
If a special session of Congress there is, easier for us to enter the Jedi Temple, it will be.
Scene 169. Exterior of Mustafar. Jedi Starfighter. Space. Anakin's Jedi Starfighter heads for the hazy, blood-red planet of Mustafar. Anakin flies over the volcanoes of Mustafar and lands his Jedi Starfighter on a complex of landing platforms. His cockpit opens as R2-D2 pops from the ship with a happy R2, stay with the ship. R2 lets out a sad little beep and moves back towards the ship. Scene 171, Mustafar landing platform. Anakin, putting on his hood, walks across a hallway upon arriving on Mustafar. Scene 172, in the Mustafar control room. Anakin appears in the doorway of the control center. Newt Gunray. Welcome, Lord Vader. We've been expecting you. Everyone in the room looks to him as he raises his hand toward a control panel, and all the exits close. Use the Force. The confused separatists look around in bewilderment. Scene 173. Back at the Jedi Temple. Smoke from the smoldering shell of the Jedi Temple fills the air with a brown haze. A dozen clone troopers stand guard at the entrance of the Jedi Temple. Suddenly, there's a flash of a lightsaber, a flurry of confusion, and all of the clone troopers are dead on the floor. Yoda and Obi-Wan stand in the middle of the carnage. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to take this coat off as it's starting to get a little hot. Sorry if you like the coat. The awesome Senate building looms over the city. The endless traffic continues to clutter the skyline. Scene 176 in the Coruscant Senate chamber. The Chancellor is in the podium in the center of the vast arena giving a speech. Mas Ameda stands to the right of Sidious. Bail Organa walks through the hallway of the main Senate chamber. He enters the Senate pod of Naboo, then sits next to Padme, Jar Jar, Captain Typho, and 2 handmaidens, who are also in the pod.
And the Jedi Rebellion has been foiled.
I was held up. What's happening? The Chancellor has been I'll read the lines for this scene because it's a little confusing. So the first one was Palpatine. Bail Organa. I was held up. What's happening? Padme. The Chancellor has been elaborating on a plot by the Jedi to overthrow the Senate. Palpatine.
The remaining Jedi will be hunted down and defeated.
Applause. Woo! Scene 177. Coruscant Jedi Temple hallway. Yoda and Obi-Wan make their way through the temple, avoiding the hundreds of clones. Yoda and Obi-Wan walk through the ruins of the temple until they come across the bodies of some students. Not even the younglings survived.
Killed not by clones, this Padawan. By a lightsaber, he was.
Who? Who could have done this? Scene 178, back in the Mustafar control center. Anakin ignites his lightsaber. Newt and the others panic. The droids at the controls and the guards grab their weapons, but it's too late. They're cut down in a flash. The separatists bang on the doors, and Newt and Rune Hacko flee under a table. Anakin, stone-faced, moves through the room like the Grim Reaper. Bodies drop everywhere. Screams are cut short as the head of the banking clan dies. That's Newt Gunray. Newt Gunray just died. Then Poggle the Lesser loses his head. Wat Tambor, Shu Mai, and the rest of the separatists run into the conference room. Scene 178, back in the Senate chamber.
The attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed, but I assure you my resolve has never been stronger.
More applause. Yeah. So, scene 180, Mustafar Control Center. In the hallway, Anakin cuts down droids and separatists alike. He's unstoppable. Anakin turns his head. His eyes are yellow. Back in the Senate, Palpatine continues his speech at the podium.
In order to ensure our security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire for a safe and secure society, which I assure you will last for 10,000 years.
There is a loud, sustained cheer from the Senate. Bail Organa and Padme sit, dumbfounded.
An empire that will continue to be ruled by this august body and the sovereign ruler chosen for life.
The Senate cheers again. Bail and Padme are devastated. Padme begins to cry.
An empire ruled by the majority, ruled by a new constitution.
The Senate applauds. And those of you streaming this right now, feel free to applaud, because it's a pretty big applause. Cool. Padme. So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. Scene 183, Mustafar main control center hallway. Newt Gunray. Oh, I guess Newt Gunray didn't die. Rune Hacko died. Sorry, Newt Gunray's still alive. Newt Gunray is the last separatist leader alive. Anakin moves on to find Newt Gunray hiding in an alcove. The war is over! Lord Sidious promised us peace. We only want... Newt Gunray is cut down mid-sentence. Scene 184, Jedi Temple. Obi-Wan stands in a large computer area as Yoda looks on in the hatchway to the main control center. I've recalibrated the code, warning all Jedi surviving to stay away.
Good. For the clones to discover recalibration, a long time it will take.
Scene 185, Coruscant, Jedi Temple, Control Center. Obi-Wan enters the main control center with Yoda and heads for the hologram area. Wait, Master, there's something I must know.
If into the security recordings you go, only pain you will find.
I must know the truth, Master. Obi-Wan moves to a panel and flips some switches. He sees a hologram of Anakin slaughtering Jedi, including the young ones. Obi-Wan and Yoda react. It can't be. It can't be. On the hologram, a dark-robed Sith enters. Anakin turns to Darth Sidious and kneels before him, still on the hologram.
Good, good. You have done well, my new apprentice. Do you feel your power growing?
Yes, my master.
Now, Lord Vader, now go and bring peace to the Empire.
Obi-Wan watches in horror. Tears well up in his eyes. I can't watch anymore. Obi-Wan switches off the hologram. The two Jedi stand in silence for a few moments.
Destroy the Sith, we must.
Send me to the Emperor. I will not kill Anakin.
To fight this Lord Sidious. Strong enough, you are not.
He is like my brother. I cannot do it.
Twisted by the dark side, young Skywalker has become. The boy you trained, gone he is. Consumed by Darth Vader.
I do not know where the Emperor sent him. I don't know where to look.
Use your feelings, Obi-Wan. And find him, you will.
Scene 186, Coruscant, Padme's apartment. A DC-0052 intergalactic speeder pulls up to the veranda landing of Padme's apartment. Oh, sorry, this is a deleted scene that I forgot to cross out. Ignore that last scene. Oh, no, wait, never mind. We're still at Padme's apartment, and Obi-Wan is here now. When was the last time you saw him? Yesterday. And do you know where he is now? No. Padme, I need your help. He's in grave danger. From the Sith? From himself. Padme, Anakin has turned to the dark side. You're wrong. How could you even say that? I have seen a security hologram of him killing younglings. Not Anakin. He couldn't. He was deceived by a lie. We all were. It appears that the Chancellor is behind everything, including the war. Palpatine is the Sith Lord we've been looking for. After the death of Count Dooku, Anakin has become his new apprentice. I don't believe you. I can't. Padme, I must find him. You're going to kill him, aren't you? He has become a very great threat. As Padme moves to sit down, she reveals her pregnancy. I can't. Anakin is the father, isn't he? Padme looks away. I'm so sorry. Obi-Wan turns and leaves as Padme stares transfixed, not knowing what to do. She is worried and tormented. Obi-Wan takes off in the speeder. She studies the J4 snippet that is hanging around her neck. Mustafar landing platform. R2-D2 waits forlornly for his master in front of the Jedi starfighter. Back in the control room, Anakin surveys the slaughter with a crazed look in his eyes. Anakin stares out at Mustafar, standing on the control room balcony. Back on Coruscant, landing platform. A small Naboo skiff rests on a landing platform in the vast congestion of Coruscant. Padme gets out of her speeder, followed by Captain Typho and C-3PO. Captain Typho says, "My lady, let me come with you." There is no danger. The fighting is over, and this is personal. Typho bows. As you wish, my lady, but I strongly disagree. I'll be all right, Captain. He goes to the speeder and gets in. This is something I must do myself. Besides, 3PO will look after me.
Oh dear.
Typho takes off, and Padme and 3PO board the small Naboo skiff. A shadow moves out from under the skiff. It is Obi-Wan. He quickly jumps on the retracting ramp as the skiff takes off. Scene 192, inside the Naboo skiff. 3PO chatters away at Padme as Padme breaks down in tears, the painful reality sinking in.
Green light. Do you know that I think I'm beginning to get the hang of this flying business?
Obi-Wan stows away on Padme's ship. The ship lifts from the landing platform and heads into the traffic lanes. Scene 193, Coruscant Senate area. Chancellor's holding office. A hologram of Anakin appears before Palpatine in his office at the bottom of the Senate arena. The Separatists have been taken care of, my master.
It is finished then. You have restored peace and justice to the galaxy. You have done well, Lord Vader.
Scene 194, Mustafar conference room. A hologram of Sidious speaks with Anakin in the Mustafar conference room.
Send a message to the ships of the Trade Federation. Tell them the Separatist leaders have been wiped out. Grievous and Dooku have been destroyed. All droid units must shut down immediately.
Very good, my lord. Anakin sees Padme's ship arriving on the screen and goes out to meet her. Scene 195, Mustafar landing platform. The sleek Naboo Mustafar platform near Anakin's green starfighter. Anakin runs up to the skiff as the ramp lowers. Ooh, this is where things are about to get interesting to those of you watching. We're in the final segment. Padme, I saw your ship. They embrace. Oh, Anakin. It's all right. You're safe now. What are you doing out here? I was so worried about you. Obi-Wan told me terrible things. What things? He said you turned to the dark side. That you killed younglings. Obi-Wan is trying to turn you against me. He cares about us. Us? He knows. He wants to help you. Is Obi-Wan going to protect you? He can't help you. He's not strong enough. Anakin, all I want is your love. Love won't save you, Padme. Only my new powers can do that. At what cost? You're a good person. Don't do this. I won't lose you the way I lost my mother. I've become more powerful than any Jedi has ever dreamed of, and I've done it for you, to protect you. Come away with me. Help me raise our child. Leave everything else behind while we still can. Don't you see? We don't have to run anymore. I have brought peace to the Republic. I am more powerful than the Chancellor. I can overthrow him, and together you and I can rule the galaxy. Make things the way we want them to be. I don't believe what I'm hearing. Obi-Wan was right. You've changed. I don't want to hear any more about Obi-Wan. The Jedi turned against me. Don't you turn against me. I don't know you anymore, Anakin. You're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow. Because of Obi-Wan? Because of what you've done. What you plan to do. Stop now. Come back. I love you. Anakin sees Obi-Wan come out of the Naboo skiff. Liar! Padme turns around and sees Obi-Wan standing in the doorway of the Naboo cruiser. No! You're with him. You brought him here to kill me. No, Anakin, I swear Anakin reaches out and Padme grabs her throat as she starts to choke. Let her go, Anakin. What have you and she been up to? Let her go. Anakin releases his grip on the unconscious Padme and she crumbles to the ground. You turned her against me. You have done that yourself. You will not take her from me. Anakin throws off his cloak. Your anger and your lust for power have already done that. Obi-Wan flings off his cloak. You have allowed this Dark Lord to twist your mind until now. Until now you've become the very thing you swore to destroy. They circle each other until Obi-Wan is near Padme. He places his hand on her. Don't lecture me, Obi-Wan. I see through the lies of the Jedi. I do not fear the dark side as you do. I have brought peace, justice, freedom, and security to my new empire. Your new empire? Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy. If you're not with me, you're my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. Ignites his lightsaber. You will try. Anakin ignites his lightsaber. Anakin lashes out at Obi-Wan and they begin a ferocious sword fight. Anakin throws containers at Obi-Wan using the Force. They work their way off the landing platform and into the main entry hallway. Anakin kicks Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan drops to a lower level. R2 beeps his concern and rushes to the unconscious Padme's aid. Scene 196 in the Senate. Yoda enters, using the Force to throw 2 red guards against a wall, knocking them unconscious. Darth Sidious turns his chair toward Yoda. Mas Amedda stands behind Sidious's desk.
I hear a new apprentice you have, Emperor. Or should I call you Darth Sidious?
Master Yoda, you survived.
Surprised?
Your arrogance blinds you, Master Yoda. Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
The Dark Lord raises his arms and lightning bolts shoot out surrounding Yoda. Yoda is picked up and thrown across the room, hitting the wall and sliding down in a crumpled heap. Darth Sidious chuckles. Back on Mustafar, Anakin and Obi-Wan move their fight towards the main control center. As the laser swords fly, bits of the hallway are cut up. Obi-Wan and Anakin jump and use every trick in the Jedi book. R2-D2 tries to drag Padme on board the Naboo cruiser. C-3PO pokes his head out of the ship doorway.
What are you doing? You're going to hurt her. Wait.
C-3PO starts down the ramp. Back in the Senate, Mas Amedda leaves the room. Palpatine approaches a stunned Yoda.
I have waited a long time for this moment, my little green friend. At last, the Jedi are no more.
Not if I have anything to say about it, Lord Sidious.
Yoda uses the Force to throw Darth Sidious back, knocking him clear over his desk and onto the floor in a heap.
At an end, your rule is not short enough it was, I must say.
Darth Sidious flies through the air, cape flapping. Ooh, sorry, excuse me. Heading toward the exit. At the last second, Yoda flies into the exit and stops the Sith Lord.
If so powerful you are, why leave?
Yoda ignites his lightsaber.
You will not stop me. Darth Vader will become more powerful than either of us.
Darth Sidious ignites his lightsaber.
Faith in your new apprentice misplaced maybe, as is faith in the dark side of the Force.
Their swords clash. The battle is extremely fast and furious. Back on Mustafar, view screens explode around Anakin and Obi-Wan as they work their way into the control room. The fighting is intense. Obi-Wan is on the defensive as he jumps up on the table view screen in the center of the room. Don't make me destroy you, Master. You're no match for the dark side. I've heard that before, Anakin, but I never thought I'd hear it from you. Anakin forces Obi-Wan back into the conference room where the quarters are much closer. Sparks fly everywhere. Anakin jumps onto the conference table. Obi-Wan slides across the table, knocking Anakin over. Obi-Wan grabs Anakin's lightsaber as he falls. Obi-Wan uses the Force to summon his dropped lightsaber. Anakin does the same. Back in the Senate, Palpatine seeks refuge in the vast Senate chamber. He gets into the Chancellor's podium and it starts to rise up into the arena. Yoda makes a giant leap into the control pod. Their sword fighting is intense in the confined space. Back on Mustafar, the battle intensifies. The flaw of power is arrogance. Obi-Wan stands looking at his former apprentice for a moment. You hesitate. The flaw of compassion. Obi-Wan and Anakin lock sabers. Obi-Wan put out his hand to use the Force to push Anakin. Anakin puts out his hand to block Obi-Wan. Both combatants are blasted backwards onto the control panels. They regain their footing and the battle continues. Anakin kicks Obi-Wan away. They battle around the room and eventually the door to the exterior is knocked open. They continue battling out onto the balcony. Back in the Senate, Yoda unleashes a ferocious assault on Palpatine, causing him to almost go over the edge. The Dark Lord drops his lightsaber, but recovers with a blast of energy from his hands that surrounds Yoda. Yoda is deflecting the Sith Lord's lightning bolts. The energy bolts begin to arc back on the Emperor. It looks as if the Dark Lord is doomed.
Destroy you I will, just as Master Kenobi will your apprentice will destroy.
Yoda jumps to a lower Senate pod. Palpatine reaches out with one hand, and a Senate pod is released from its mooring and heads toward the podium. Palpatine uses the Force to hurl pod after pod at Yoda, who ducks and jumps from one flying pod to another. Yoda leaps away from the pods. He uses the Force to hold one pod suspended in the air. The pod spins, and Yoda throws it back at Palpatine, who leaps away at the last moment. Yoda leaps after him, but Palpatine quickly turns and aims the full force of his energy bolts at the tiny green Jedi, catching him in midair and throwing him back against the podium. The Force causes Yoda to drop his lightsaber. Yoda blocks the lightning and throws Palpatine back off the podium. Yoda is knocked off the podium and falls several hundred feet to the base of the podium. Palpatine follows in his pod, searching for Yoda. Back on Mustafar, Anakin forces Obi-Wan down a narrow balcony outside the control room. He rips off the wall and throws them at Obi-Wan as he pushes him further and further along the walkway. The balcony ends and Obi-Wan is trapped. He looks over the balcony and into a river of lava. Anakin cuts a piece of the balcony railing off, along with a control panel. Alarms sound, and a protective ray shield around the superstructure disappears. It tumbles into the molten abyss, disappearing in a puff of smoke. A small pipe connects the couple across the lava river while fighting Anakin. Anakin, following Obi-Wan, jumps down onto the flexing pipe, lands, and resumes fighting. Obi-Wan and Anakin work their way across the small pipe, fighting ferociously as they go. Lightsaber noises. Obi-Wan slips, throws his lightsaber in the air, grabs onto the pipe, swings around, grabs onto an upper pipe, retrieves his lightsaber, and lands back on the original pipe. Wow. They continue to fight across the pipe until they reach the main collection plant. Back in the Senate, Yoda squishes his way through a mass of wires in a small chute. He talks on his comlink.
Hurry! Careful timing, we will need.
Bail Organa is in a speeder. There aren't many troops on this side. Activate your homing beacon when you're ready. Back in the Senate, a Senate pod with Commander Thyre and several other clone troopers climb up to where Mas Amedda and Palpatine are waiting. Beneath the main podium, 20 clone troopers search for Yoda's body. Clone Commander Thyre.
There's no sign of his body, sir.
Then he is not dead.
Double your search.
Yes, sir.
Right away, sir.
Tell Captain Caggy to prepare my shuttle for immediate takeoff.
Yes, Master.
I sense Lord Vader is in danger.
Palpatine walks into the arena hallway. Commander Thyre descends down to the floor of the arena where an intense search is taking place. Back on Mustafar, Obi-Wan and Anakin battle on the top of the multi-spired collection panels, jumping from one to the other. At the end of the collection cluster, a huge spray of lava covers the attachments that hold up the collectors. The frame begins to melt. It's raining lava. Both Anakin and Obi-Wan run for cover under the collection cluster. They continue to fight in the lava rain, darting from cover to attack, then quickly retreating to cover. Support for the entire structure begins to fall away, and the collection cluster falls into the lava river. The Jedi continue the fight, climbing to the highest point on the tower as the rest begins to melt away as it rides the swift current down the river. It bends toward the lava. As they get toward the end, the fighting gets fierce. Obi-Wan gets to the end and is trapped. The tower slowly starts to sink under the lava. Back on Coruscant at the Senate building, Bail Organa, in his open cockpit speeder, flies along next to the roof eave of the huge Senate building. He slows and moves closer to a low row of recessed lights. Suddenly, Yoda falls out of one of the light recesses and lands in the speeder. Bail guns it and heads away from the Senate building. Yoda straightens himself out.
Into exile, I must go. Failed, I have.
Yoda and Bail fly into the traffic of the city. Back on Mustafar, Obi-Wan realizes he's getting very close to the edge of the lava falls. He grabs a rope and leans from the collection arm. Anakin follows. Anakin and Obi-Wan continue their sword fight, hanging from cables as they swing past each other. Back on the Mustafar landing platform, C-3PO carefully lifts Padme into his arms. R2-D2 nervously looks on, beeping. Back at the Mustafar collection panels, from their cables, Obi-Wan and Anakin both spot something that causes them to stop fighting. The lava river ahead drops off in a tremendous lava fall. Snapping and metal groans are heard as the main part of the collector starts to break away and move towards the lava fall. Anakin looks around and sees a small floating platform making its way toward the tower. Obi-Wan does a double backflip and lands squarely on the floating platform. He immediately leans to one side and moves away from the tower. Anakin realizes he is doomed, as the entire tower heads for the falls. In the distance, he sees some construction droids. He swings back to the tower, climbs up, making a running leap, and miraculously lands on a worker droid. The droid is confused and chatters to his co-worker. The giant collector goes over the lava and disappears in the mist of sparks below. Obi-Wan heads for the bank of the lava river, but Anakin's droid is faster. He catches up with his old master. Obi-Wan and Anakin continue the sword fight. They battle away, balancing on the tiny platform and puzzled droid. Anakin, standing on the droid, approaches Obi-Wan on the work platform. I have failed you, Anakin. I was never able to teach you to think. Anakin and Obi-Wan confront each other on the lava river. I should have known the Jedi were plotting to take over. From the Sith, Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil. From the Jedi point of view, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost. This is the end for you, my master. I wish it were otherwise. Anakin jumps and flips onto Obi-Wan's platform. The fighting continues again until Obi-Wan jumps toward the safety of the black sandy edge of the lava river. He yells at Anakin, "It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power. Don't try it." Anakin follows, and Obi-Wan cuts his young apprentice at the knees, then cuts off his left arm. In the blink of an eye, Anakin tumbles down the embankment and rolls to a stop near the edge of the lava. Anakin struggles to pull himself up the embankment with his mechanical hand. His thin leather glove has been burned off. He keeps sliding down in the black sand. "You were the chosen one! It was said you would destroy the Sith, not join them. It was you who would bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness." Obi-Wan picks up Anakin's lightsaber and begins to walk away. He stops and looks back. Anakin, "I hate you! You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you." Anakin's clothing blows into the lava river and ignites. Suddenly, Anakin bursts into flames and starts screaming. Obi-Wan looks in horror as Anakin becomes engulfed in flames. Obi-Wan can't watch as he struggles to climb the embankment covered in flames. He runs back to Padme's ship as Anakin drops, smoldering near the top of the lava pit. Obi-Wan makes his way to the skiff. He looks for Padme. 3PO sticks his head out the door of the skiff.
"Master Kenobi, we have Miss Padme on board. Please hurry. We should leave this dreadful place."
Obi-Wan runs on board the Naboo skiff. Padme lies on a cot or bed inside the ship. Obi-Wan walks over and checks on her. "Obi-Wan, is Anakin all right?" Obi-Wan looks at her sadly and does not answer. He brushes her hair back. Padme drops back into unconsciousness. R2 watches over her. Obi-Wan rides in the co-pilot station. He sits looking pensive. 3PO drives. Back on Mustafar, Anakin crawls up the bank, his body smoking. A shuttle flies overhead and lands. An Imperial shuttle closes its wings and settles on the highest of the Mustafar landing platforms. A platoon of clone troopers exits the craft, followed by Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious walks in front of the clone troopers on his way to get to Anakin at the edge of the lava pit. Darth Sidious discovers what remains of Anakin and checks him out. He turns to the clones. Anakin, there he is. He's still alive. Get a medical capsule immediately." "Yes, sir, right away." Several of the clones rush off as Darth Sidious puts his hands on Anakin's forehead. Scene 222. The interior of the Polis Massa Observation Dome. This is a medical facility in an asteroid field. On the isolated asteroid of Polis Massa, Yoda meditates.
"Failed to stop the Sith Lord. I have. Still much to learn. There is."
Right. Mustafar landing platform. The clones have placed Anakin in a medical capsule. They float the wounded Sith Lord onto the belly of the Imperial cruiser. Darth Sidious follows the capsule into the ship. The ship takes off. Back on Polis Massa, Obi-Wan lands the Naboo cruiser on the landing platform of the isolated post. Yoda and Bail Organa, along with a few ground crew, are waiting as the ramp lowers and Obi-Wan emerges, carrying the unconscious Padme in his arms, followed by R2 and 3PO. "We'll take her to the medical center, quickly." The landing platform of the Coruscant Rehab Center. Palpatine's shuttle lands. Darth Sidious and clone troopers leave the shuttle. Anakin's body is carried along in a floating medical capsule. Interior of Polis Massa Medical Center. Polis medics work on Padme in an operating theater. Obi-Wan has one of the medical droids enter an observation room where Bail and Yoda are waiting. Medical droid.
"Medically, she is completely healthy for reasons we can't explain. We are losing her."
"She's dying."
"I don't know why. She has lost the will to live. We need to operate quickly if we are to save the babies.
Babies?
She is carrying twins.
Save them, we must. They are our last hope.
The medical droid rushes back to the operating room. R2 and 3PO watch, greatly puzzled. R2 beeps.
It's some kind of reproductive process, I think.
Scene 227. Coruscant, Imperial Rehab Center, day. Anakin, in his medical capsule, is lifted onto a table in the rehab center. Droids go to work on him. Anakin has new legs and a new arm. Polis Massa Medical Center. The twins are being delivered as Bail Organa, Yoda, R2, and 3PO watch. Obi-Wan is in the operating theater with Padme. He takes her hand. Don't give up, Padme. Padme winces from the pain. The medical droid is holding the baby.
It's a boy.
Luke. Padme can only offer up a faint smile. She struggles to touch the baby on the forehead.
And a girl.
Leia. R2-D2, 3PO, and Bail Organa watch from an adjoining space. Interior of the Coruscant Imperial Rehab Center. Vader, dressed in his black body armor, lies on the table. Nose plugs are inserted and the mask drops from above, sealing tightly. The helmet is fitted, and Vader begins breathing. Back on Polis Massa now. Obi-Wan leans over Padme and softly speaks to her. You have twins, Padme. They need you. Hang on. I can't. Padme winces again and takes Obi-Wan's hand. She's holding Anakin's J-Por snippet. Save your energy. Obi-Wan, there is good in him. I know there is. Still, a last gasp, and she dies. Obi-Wan studies the necklace. Back on the Imperial Rehab Center, Darth Sidious hovers around the periphery of a group of medical droids who are working on Anakin. Darth Sidious paces in the foreground. A droid approaches the Dark Lord. Medical droid.
My lord, the construction is finished. He lives.
Good. Good.
The droid moves back to the table where Darth Vader lies. The table begins to move upright. Darth Sidious moves in next to Darth Vader.
Lord Vader, can you hear me?
Darth Vader, with his dark mask and helmet, moves up into the frame until he's in a close-up.
Yes, my master.
Darth Vader looks around the room.
Where is Padme? Is she safe? Is she all right?
Darth Sidious moves closer to the half-droid, half-man.
I'm afraid she died. It seems in your anger you killed her.
A low groan emanates from Vader's mask. Suddenly, everything in the room begins to implode, including some of the droids.
Oh. No.
Some of the droids aren't so lucky. Vader's painful screams echo throughout the center. Scene 232. Exterior. Naboo Alderaan Star Cruiser. Bail Organa Star Cruiser approaches the city of Theed, which is on Naboo. Bail Organa, Yoda, and Obi-Wan sit around a conference table.
Pregnant. She must still appear. Hidden. Safe. The children must be kept.
We must take them somewhere the Sith will not sense their presence.
Split up. They should be.
My wife and I will take the girl. This is Bail Organa. That's not the line. This is him speaking. My wife and I will take the girl. We've always talked of adopting a baby girl. She will be loved with us. And what of the boy?
To Tatooine. To his family. Send him.
I will take the child and watch over him. Master Yoda, do you think Anakin's twins will be able to defeat Darth Sidious?
Strong the Force runs in the Skywalker line. Hope we can. Done it is. Until the time is right. Disappear, we will.
Bail leaves the conference room. Yoda stops Obi-Wan.
Master Kenobi, wait a moment. In your solitude on Tatooine, training I have for you.
Training?
An old friend has learned the path to immortality.
Who?
One who has returned from the netherworld of the Force to train me, your old master, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon? But how could he accomplish this?
The secret of the ancient order of the wheels he studied. How to commune with him, I will teach you.
I'll be able to talk with him.
How to join the Force. He will train you. Your consciousness you will retain. When one with the Force, even your physical self, perhaps.
Scene 234. Interior of the Alderaan Star Cruiser hallway. Bail Organa, followed by R2 and 3PO, approaches Captain Antilles and 2 crew members. Captain Antilles. Captain Antilles. Yes, Your Highness. I'm placing these droids in your care. Treat them well. Clean them up. Have the protocol droids mind wiped.
Oh no.
Scene 235. Exterior, Naboo Main Square. Sio Bibble walks around with other mourners. Large crowds line the street as a flower-covered coffin is drawn by 6 beautiful white beasts. Soldiers and family Atto dignitaries follow the casket. Padme's hand clutches the J-Por snippet. 236, exterior of Dagobah. A small escape pod hurls towards the swamp planet and disappears in the mist. The pod has landed, and Yoda descends the ramp, surveying the unfamiliar terrain. Scene 237, exterior of an Imperial Star Destroyer in space. Star Destroyer is surrounded by attack cruisers. On the bridge of the Star Destroyer stands the Emperor and Governor Tarkin. Darth Vader walks along the bridge to join the Emperor and Governor Tarkin. The camera pans to reveal the huge frame structure, which is the beginning of the Death Star. Scene 238, exterior Alderaan Star Cruiser. The ship approaches the surface of Alderaan. On Alderaan, the Queen of Alderaan sits on a balcony looking out over the awesome mountains of Alderaan. Bail Organa brings a small baby to her. She takes her and rocks her. Scene 240. Exterior of Tatooine. Sunset. Obi-Wan rides up to the Moisture Farm homestead on an Eopie. He dismounts, takes the baby out of a papoose on his back, and walks toward Aunt Beru, who walks over to greet him. They talk for a moment, and Obi-Wan turns the baby over to the young homesteader. Aunt Beru walks to Uncle Owen, who is standing on the ridge near Homestead. Obi-Wan leaves as Owen, Beru, and the baby watch the twin suns set. We did it. That's the whole thing. So now, so that this thing doesn't get taken down by Lucasfilm, I have to do a movie review. Here's my review. That was a good movie. Probably the best of the prequels. I want to thank those of you who tuned in, and those of you who stayed for the whole time. Means you're either my parents or a really good friend. Okay, time to read the credits. Unfortunately, I did not print those. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for checking it out. That really means a lot. That's just a fun thing I wanted to do, even though I didn't get too much viewership. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, everybody. I suppose this will bring the stream to an end. So who knows? Maybe I'll do this again at some point with another movie. We'll see. Lucasfilm, please don't get mad at me. I guess that's it. Everyone, have a great night, and may the Force be with you. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna sign off now. Bye. End.